Roman Reigns ought to pay attention to CM Punk's appropriate response about politics and the WWE. After Roman Reigns showed his admiration for President Trump, CM Punk attacked Twitter users who accused WWE of being a MAGA organization. After disclosing his political membership in a recent interview, Roman Reigns faced criticism. Although he disclosed that he was a registered Democrat, he made hints that he voted for President Donald Trump. Fans took offense at his statement and even declared their support for CM Punk and Seth Rollins in their impending matchup against him at WrestleMania. However, Punk's response to the criticism on WWE's status as an MAGA company may have given Reigns some support. Punk revealed that he didn't want to make his political views public, even though he may not be a fan of Elon Musk or Trump. He also mentioned that he didn't want to resign from his position because of his political views. CM Punk has some thoughts on politics and WWE. We are aware that Punk and the Republican Party disagree on a number of subjects. He obviously doesn't want to be overtly political, though. He was questioned about his WWE co-star's diverse origins and worldviews during his appearance on the Ringer wrestling show. Kazim Famille, the host, went on to explain that his inquiry was motivated by the recent political disclosures made by WWE performers. The host was most likely implying that Triple H and Roman Reigns had lately spoken well of President Trump. Punk revealed that he didn't spoken to Triple H or any other WWE member about his political views. He hinted at his problems with Republican politics when he said that his politics were rather obvious. He revealed that he could only be authentic and speak for his family and community amid the strange, ugly world out there. Additionally, he had harsh things to say to fans who attacked him for his association with WWE, calling it a MAGA organization. He chastised those who pursued him and disclosed that he didn't want to resign from his position due to these charges alone. He added that he had made extensive use of the company's funds. In the interview, he disclosed, "As entertainers, I have no idea what people want from us. The WWE is a quote-unquote MAGA corporation, according to someone on Twitter. Therefore, I'm just meant to resign my job. All right. You're talking dumb things on Lord Elon Musk's *** King Twitter. Stop talking. Have you done anything? I simply don't broadcast it because I've accomplished a lot. I support the poor with the money I earn because I put my money where my mouth is." Additionally, Punk's statement ought to be a fitting reaction to the vitriol that Roman Reigns received after disclosing his political views. Punk is scheduled to make an appearance at WrestleMania for his first main event. On night one, he is competing against Reigns and Seth Rollins. Roman Reigns was questioned about his political affiliations and views in an interview with Vanity Fair. Although he is a registered Democrat, the publication also stated that he views himself as a centrist. He did, however, have a clear option when last year's elections rolled along. One person was providing us with information, he revealed. It wasn't too difficult because only one individual was responding to inquiries. He continued by saying that he voted for President Donald Trump, citing his vast history and huge background as reasons for his decision. Reigns stated that President Trump has a bright future for the nation and that his leadership demonstrated the competence of what a global power ought to be doing. Reigns revealed, "Right now, I'm in favor of a promising future for our nation. Capable and upbeat leadership. For us to be what we are meant to be, a global leader who carries that respect and acts in the manner that a global power such as us ought to." Reigns did clarify, though, that he did not agree with everything the president did. For example, he disapproved of the way Trump attacked his opponents in his remarks. He needs that opposition to bounce off of, Reigns revealed. Somehow, he needs that competitive drive. When Reigns brought up Trump versus his opponents, he also likened the globe to wrestling. The world seems to be more like wrestling than any other form of entertainment, to be honest, he shared. In that regard, the tribal chief might be correct. But, as Kayla Harrison confesses, Ronda Rousey stood up to injustice as a two-time Olympic gold medalist and MMA world champion. Kayla Harrison came clean and said, "I don't think we're friends anymore." Back in 2022, the two-time Olympic gold medalist and MMA star was discussing her former coach and training partner, Ronda Rousey. Their paths have long since diverged, both personally and professionally, after they were once united like sisters through the rigors of judo. Harrison and Rowdy have never disclosed in public what allegedly sparked the rift. What is evident, though, is that their mutual regard as young sportsmen has not diminished. Both fans and insiders have characterized their relationship as complex over the years, at times close and at other times aloof. Some even liken their relationship to that of Vegeta and Goku from Dragon Ball Z. One of the judoka's most steadfast supporters was Rousey, who was 2 years Harrison's senior and a pioneer in women's MMA. And now, their complicated relationship is in the news once more as the Ohio export prepares for her UFC comeback at UFC 316. Harrison discussed the assault she had experienced in an unearthed footage from the November 2024 episode of the Overdogs podcast. "My first judo coach severely mistreated me, and I eventually told my mother about it when I was 16 years old. He served 10 years in a federal jail when she filed accusations, so everything is fine. However, it took me years to fully recover from that, and I began sharing my story when I began to receive some media attention for the Olympics." She then talked about how Ronda supported her during her darkest moments. "When I eventually came out about my judo coach harassing me, there was an online forum back in the day," Kayla Harrison disclosed. "People were debating when it actually began and whether 13 was the legal age. And Ronda essentially instructed everyone to shut up on the forum." Looking back on their time together, the 135-pound championship contender revealed how kind Rousey had been to her throughout her most trying times. Harrison said, "When I first moved to Boston, we were roommates. The only other girl training there was her. I accompanied her to the 2008 Beijing Olympics as a training partner. I think she really brought out the best in me. However, this girl also bought food and allowed me to eat when we were in Belgium, and I had maybe $5 in my bank account. I will therefore never speak poorly about Ronda." She didn't think twice about expressing how much Ronda Rousey had meant to her in their formative years together. Harrison freely admitted to having grown up under the first female UFC champion. Doug was Rousey's training partner for the Beijing Olympics in 2008 and was a member of her Olympic squad. In the end, Rousey won bronze, which greatly motivated the two-time Olympian and fueled her own career. In the present day, Rowdy has long since left the MMA scene, but not before completely changing it. She broke down barriers and raised awareness of women's MMA worldwide in the UFC, continuing her supremacy from Strikeforce. However, she left the sport in 2016 due to the consequences of repeated concussions and back-to-back defeats to Amanda Nunes and Holly Holm. Ronda remained the center of attention. Rather, she made a smooth transition to Hollywood and professional wrestling, joining the WWE in 2017 and rapidly becoming a major celebrity once more. Before retiring in 2023, she continued to be active in the ring, making a brief comeback to the independent wrestling scene. Ronda Rousey has turned her attention to family life after leaving sport, and she recently welcomed the birth of another kid. In January, as wildfires burned all over California, Ronda Rousey and her husband, Travis Browne, had a very special moment of happiness. The WWE star announced the birth of their second daughter on social media on January 9. Alongside a sweet picture of herself holding the infant, Rowdy wrote, "We are so thankful that our little girl made it safely and sound when she came into the world during a windstorm into a burning city." She also disclosed the baby's name, Likoula Pawomahina Kaipia Brown, in conjunction with the announcement. Laakia Makalapuakalanipo Brown, who was born in 2021, is now joined by Likoula. Rousey is a loving stepmother to Travis Browne's sons from a previous marriage, Callio, and Q. In addition to her two daughters, she has publicly shown her love for them over the years, even calling them her own in a sincere 2020 social media post. In August 2017, Rousey and Brown celebrated their love with a beautiful ceremony in Hawaii, where they exchanged vows. It's difficult to dispute Ronda's status as the most significant female figure in MMA history, given her accomplishments as an Olympic medalist, USC pioneer, and WWE icon. What do you think, though? Does someone else deserve to be called the greatest female MMA star of all time? Or is Rousey the real winner? Post your comments below. Greetings and welcome to my channel, dear viewers. I hope you're having a great day. I'm Lema. Please subscribe to the channel if you enjoy the video.